level online FDP. So this FDP has been organized by High Learn Education Institute, Bijapur, Vijaypur, Karnataka, as well as Rizvi College of Arts, Science and Commerce, Bandra, Mumbai, Maharashtra. So, uh, respected speaker, madam, kindly introduce yourself and go ahead with your session. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, first of all, very good evening to all participants who are present here in this 7 days faculty development program, which is focused on how to write a research paper in an effective way. So, this is the first session, and myself, Dr. Kavita Dahiya, and I am assistant professor in Manipal University. I'm having 4 year experience in teaching and 3 year experience in research, as well as I'm having around 50 research papers which are somewhere published and presented. Out of them, around 35 research papers have been published in various journals. Out of them, out of 35 research papers, I have 15 research papers which are Scopus indexed. I am having 4 books in my credit, as well as I have finalized 2 books on research entrepreneurial development, which are almost ready to go. And recently, I have started to work on strategic management, a new reference book. So here I have having the first session to deliver my lecture on developing a research proposal idea for writing effective research paper. So this is all about today's my action, and let me start the session with the discussion on the learning objectives of the session. First of all, before starting the session, where the first objective of this session is to define the meaning of the research in detail, and we are also going to describe the different types of the research in detail, where these all types are having their own significance. According to your research objective, you may adopt whatever type of research is required according to your area, according to your objective. Another objective of this session is discuss the significant various steps of the research proposal, how to finalize the research proposal, because research proposal is a first step before starting any research. So we cannot ignore the significance of the research proposal for the research itself. So let's start the session with the discussion on the research meaning, where this research refers to the search for the knowledge. Means you are having a few knowledge or few concept in your mind, but you want to explore this. Research means a scientific and a systematic search for the pertinent information on a specific topic. Means it is a scientific where you are supposed to adopt or supposed to follow steps which are already pre-specified. You cannot skip any step to move ahead. In fact, the research is an art of scientific investigation. Why this is art of the scientific investigation? Because there are certain aspects or certain rules which are somewhere lenient in its nature. There is no hard and fast rule that you need to follow this step. But if you would follow, then definitely your work will be smoother. So the purpose of research is to discover the answer of the question through the application of the scientific procedure. Where if I'm talking about the research types for the research study, to gain the familiarity with the phenomena to achieve the new insights into it. that is somewhere exploratory or formulative research. Exploratory or formulative research basically is representing where you are having few insights in your hand, in your objectives, but you want to explore the things which are somewhere hidden, new things you are discovering. Another one is descriptive research studies, where you are going to describe accurately the characteristics of a particular individual, situation, or a group. Means, although you are having few facts in your hand, but what facts you are describing, these are already available, but the target audience is not aware about these characteristics or these facts, and you are describing these facts in a new pattern. Another one is diagnostic, where diagnostic is representing where you are determining the frequency with which something occurs, or with which it associated with the with something else. Means, what basically is, you are analyzing the association of two variables or more than two variables. Means, cause and effect association. If one is increasing, then how it is influencing another one, whether in increasing way or decreasing way. If you are changing one variable, then how it is influencing other variable. Another one is test hypothesis. That is hypothesis testing research studies, where you are testing the hypothesis of causal relationship between the variable. Means, if you are studying the hypothesis that you have framed already, and you are working on that. Here, the descriptive study or descriptive research includes the survey and facts that are finding the inquiries. And the main characteristics of this research or this method is that the researcher has no control over the variables. Whatever the variables there are included in the study, you are not having any control on them, because you are only describing the things. He can only report what has happened and what is happening. Another one is analytical. Here you are analyzing the things. Here you are somewhere means some statistical ways are applicable here, and in this analytical research, where researcher has to use facts and information that already available, and you are analyzing these to make the critical evaluation of the material. Suppose you are analyzing how the problems are associated with one variable or with one aspect. So, for the conclusion, you need to give analytical view or analytical review of these two variables, whether the problems are associated with the aspect or not. So you need to give the figures, the facts, which are somewhere quantitative in its nature. Somewhere this analytical research is quantitative in its nature. In its nature, sorry. Another one is applied research, where it is aiming to find out a solution for an immediate problem that is faced by the society or by the industries or by the organization. That's why this is applied research. Means, if there is any problem that is going on in the business, so this is also known as a somewhere applied research due to its nature, where you are undertaking one problem that is existing in the business, in the nature, in the society, and you are trying to find out what are the different solutions available which may eliminate this problem. So another one is gathering the knowledge for knowledge sake is termed as pure or basic research. So another one is qualitative research, where qualitative research is representing the opinion or attitude of the target audience, where you are collecting the statements or answers from the respondent, and you are giving results on the basis of attitude, on the opinion, feeling, thoughts, of the respondent, not in qualitative figure, but not in quantitative figure, but in qualitative term only. Suppose if I'm having any problem related to funds, then you are saying in your analysis that okay, this is the problem that is faced by the respondent in majority of time or in most of time. So you are not quantifying the things that majority of respondent are facing. No, but you are saying that okay, this is the problem that is respondent facing again and again during his or her work is routine activities. So another one is empirical research, where it is data based research, and again this is quantitative research, which is experimental type of the research. Such research is thus characterized by the examiner experimenter control over the variables under study and his deliberate manipulation of one of them to study its differences. So there may be the one-time research or longitudinal research. There may be field setting research or laboratory research, simulation research, clinical research, or historical research, conclusion research, or decision-oriented research. Means all these are different types of the research that you may conduct. So what exactly the research proposal is? This is the statement of intent that you are having in your mind, and you are figuring out that okay, I am having this kind of the research proposal, and this is academically prepared to complete the research, where audience, peer, supervisor, examiners are included in the research proposal. Basically, this research proposal is a tentative plan how you are going to conduct this research and what are the different parameters that are somewhere influencing or different concepts or aspects which are required for the research completion. This is tentative plan basically. So this research proposal is your plan, which is describing in detail about your study. It is decision about your study that are based on quality of the proposal, approval to proceed the institutional review board. Because whenever you are conducting any research, then you are not only the person who is involved in the research. There may be some other individuals who are somewhere involved in this research. Maybe the direct stakeholder or indirect stakeholder. If I'm talking about the direct stakeholder, then you are associated with any institution which is giving the sponsorship or funds to your research. Then you need to get the approval for that research to this research proposal. So this is the research proposal, which is the somewhere tentative plan, which you may represent to your institutional board or review authorities, which may review your plan, review your proposal, and after that they will approve this. So this research proposal is a detailed plan before you get it in the car, describing the research area you are working in and what you know, where you want to go, and how you are going to there. Means basically your plans, that what you are having in your hand about the information, about the data, about the problem, about the objectives, and where you want to go. Means what may be the results of that study that are somewhere tentative, because you are targeting yourself that okay, this is my research problem and I just want to solve this. So this is your result, as well as how are you going to get there. Means what is your research proposal exactly, what is the research methodology that you are going to adopt to complete that research. How do you show that you are academically prepared? This is the research proposal that somewhere uh, 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 representing you that okay, all the parameters, suppose research methodology, hypothesis, objectives, your analysis, analytical tools are representing that okay, you are academically prepared to work with that problem or to work with that research proposal. So this research proposal is So this research proposal is a plan where you are understanding your problem, knowledge base, technical skills, and infrastructure that is required for the research, and a plan that has get the approval for you get to start. So the importance of research proposal is where you are contracting between you and your committee, because as I told you, you are not only the individual who is working on any research. So you there are few stakeholders which are directly or indirectly involved in your research. Indirectly, there are certain stakeholders which are somewhere having their interest in your research. Maybe other people who are having few means maybe the society, maybe the policymakers, maybe the fund providing organization, or anyone, any party which is somewhere having the indirect interest in your proposal. So first is to serve, to protect the student, demanding the additional requirements, protect the committee from the student from delivering the degree of the poor quality. If I'm talking about the research paper, then what exactly the research paper is, where this is a research paper which is requiring you to critically think about, evaluate, organize, and compose. Because if you are not having any critical thinking in your mind, then somewhere you would adopt the things as they are. So first, for any research paper, you need to criticize the things. As in upcoming sessions, we will discuss the hypothesis, how to frame the hypothesis. Then I'll explain that how this critical thinking is assisting you, or it is helping you to frame the objective, to frame the hypothesis, where this critical thinking is used, as well as it is used to evaluate, organize, and compose the research. It is also an assignment or project that grows over a time as you interact with other resources. It also varies in the length, because whatever the research paper or research proposal you are having in your mind when you start with to work with, it is not exactly in the same length. It may vary according to facts that you have collected, according to analysis that you have conducted, as well as according to the interpretation, and according to the stake, or according to the interest, or significance of the research for the society. Because there may be some facts which are very much valuable or very much significant for the society, so you need to elaborate those facts in a significant way, so that upcoming generation can get some assistance through your research. Why you are research doing any research? Because you somewhere want to contribute to the society. You want to contribute to the literature that is available. So give your facts, give your conclusion in that way, that so that upcoming generation can get the valuable insights out of your research. It is generally written on a topic that is decided by your teacher. Teacher is your supervisor, or any guide, any individual who is guiding you in your research. So, what is research paper about? Again, this is very important topic, or that is very important aspect that you need to clear. First of all, what exactly the research paper is related to? What type of the research paper have you written in the past? Means what the area of interest you are having. How was the process of writing this paper, and what's the hardest part? Means is this your first research paper, or is this your second, or means upcoming, means you have research, you have conducted many researches. So how does a writer interact with the text of other people? How you are taking the assistance of available literature? I came to know that majority of researchers are taking the literature review as uh, no as a part of the research to fill out the pages, or to increase the content in the research paper, or in the research report. But this is not the right no uh, uh, practice, because literature review is always first important step of your research, because this is the literature review which is giving you the insight that okay, these are the research that already have been conducted by the different researchers, and they have conducted this research with these parameters, and they find out these results. How your study is different and how you are contributing to that literature review. So literature basically. So how long are the research paper you have written in the past? Means how your research experience is. As I told you in the starting of the session, that I'm having 3 years research experience. After that, I have published around 35 research papers. What exactly is representing that how your research experience is contributing in your upcoming research. So, how long is the research paper you are currently working on? Why I told you that recently I have started a book on strategic management. Basically, I was just representing that I am also working currently on a research. So you need to know, you need to understand your working methodology, that what exactly your paper is about, how this research is influencing or is influenced by the available literature, even though what is the process of writing this research paper and how this research paper is influencing your work as well as to the society, and how you long you are associated with the research work exactly. So what are the essential first one is issue where what problem does your research address. Another one is research design. This is the issue which is the most significant or first significant aspect of any research. After that, research design, because this is research design which is somewhere known as a blueprint of the research, where you are going to describe what is the research area, research sample, after that research sample selection, after that analytical tools, means all these are explained in the research design. After that, benefits, what will the research contribute to the society, to the literature. Here the research proposal makes you to understand or to outline the steps in your proposed research, where it also provides yourself with the intellectual content, and it is need to be creative and justify your research. After that, you need to think through your experiences and anticipate the potential problem and anticipate the realistic timetable. I think there is no concept which is somewhere having any confusion or having any explanation means any explanation is required. So let's move ahead. The research proposal makes you to outline the where it is clarifying thoughts and develop the ideas, where beginning to the end that sees the whole picture. It also teach yourself where to figure out and find out what important to know, where different aspects of creativity are also involved. No one is telling you what you need to know, because this is your insight, this is your mind which is directing you, which is forcing you that I am not aware about this concept. I need to know what are the hidden facts, what are the hidden information that are not revealed yet. So this is creativity which need to be there in your research, because this is only your mind which is enforcing you, which is somewhere directing you that I am not aware about this fact, why, and how to reveal these information. Another one is justification. Why this, why is this work important for me, for society, for other stakeholder. If your work does not matter to you, it shows. Experiments where what you do, what do you need to order. So, getting started with the research proposal, where you need to understand these different parameters one by one. You cannot skip these steps. First is title, outline, literature review, research methodology, methods of the data collection and analysis. Another is ethical issues, timeline, resources, outcomes, and reference list. So, before starting any research, you need to understand all these concepts, all these steps carefully, one by one. Here, if I'm talking about the title, then it is concise as well as descriptive phrase that summarize the main focus of the purpose of your research, and it should accurately reflect the content of your study and capture the leader's interest. Basically, this title need to be descriptive in its nature, as well as it need to be very concise, means self-explanatory. It need to be where it is somewhere giving the information to you, basically your area of the research, your purpose of the research. Because this is the title of the research or problem statement, which is giving the birth to the objectives of the study. Out of these objectives of the study, we are deriving the hypothesis which we are going to test in the study. So it is a mini abstract, which is title. It need to be clear, it need to be concise, it need to be subject first. The problem statement is very need to be very short. As the title, the problem statement also need to be very short. So what statement is exactly? It need to give the purpose of a blueprint for your literature review, focus on the committee at the beginning, keep them on the track throughout your research proposal. If I'm talking about the problem statement, then it need to be a concise description of the issues or the challenges that your research aim to address. Yes, this is the problem statement, which is somewhere giving you the foundation or the base to your study, which is providing the context of the research question and objectives. A well-defined problem statement clearly articulates the problem and the gap in the knowledge, which is identifying the significance or importance of the problem, and it is also assisting you to set out a stage of the research that need to be followed. Suppose here the example is malaria remain in the most devastating infectious disease, particularly in the Africa, where the one reason is that the parasites causing the disease is resistant to all clinically useful anti-malaria drugs. So, therefore, we have to devise alternative strategies to target the parasites. If I'm talking about the includes of the following components, where problem statement need to introduce the problem itself, provide a brief overview of the broader context of and background of the problem as well. It need to explain why this issue is significant and relevant to the field of the study. Also, the statement of the problem, where it need to be clear, state the specific problem or research question that your study will address. Define the scope and boundaries of the problem to focus your research, basically. It is also the importance of the problem, which is discussing the significance of addressing the problem. Exactly. It is also explaining why this is important to fill the gap in the knowledge and resolve the issues, that is highlighting the potential implication of the theory, practice, and policies also. Purpose of the study, where obviously this problem statement is including that how your study is targeted towards one problem. it outline the objectives and aim to your research, where it is explaining how your study will contribute to address the problems and advancing the knowledge in the field. Research questions and hypothesis. As I told you earlier also, that problem statement is giving birth to the objectives, and objectives means hypotheses are derived from the objectives. So it poses the scientific specific research question or hypothesis that your study will investigate. These questions should directly address the problem statement or the guide the direction to your research also. Justification for the study, where it provide a rationale or it provide a rationale or justification for why your study is needed. It also explains why existing research or solutions are insufficient and why your approach is novel or valuable. Because somewhere this problem statement is this is the, means fashed out with the help of the literature review. And literature review and problem statement means this problem statement somewhere is representing the gap of the literature review. So this literature review is again very important. As I told you that there are few researchers which are not considering the literature review in an significant way. So this literature review is basically a summary of previous research on the similar kind of the topic, where this literature review can also be either a part of the larger reports of the research proposal or research projects or somewhere no problems or thesis or any problem bibliography that is associated or published separately in the scholars journal. If I'm talking about why we do the literature review, which is to understand our research problems in a better way. We also try to find out any knowledge gap or degree of agreement on the topic, even though it is very important for the past study on the similar kind of the topic. Problem identification also, knowledge gap also, it is also very important for the current status of the research on the similar topic, where it is no considered as extensive review of the literature that is done by the investigator in this section. It is already known about the topic that is written in or included in the Lucans, where it is just quoting the literature review or literature by Brentim by will not serve as a purpose. And it also helps the investigator to gain good knowledge in the field of the inquiry. If I'm talking about the reasons why the literature review is conducted, then to see what exactly has or had not investigated, even though it is also assist you to develop the general explanation of observed variations in the behavior or the phenomena. Means basically you are studying the research that are already conducted by the different experts or different no researcher, and you are studying this research for the research gap for the problem statement. Means these are the two reasons why you are conducting the literature review at first stage, because you want to know what exactly the research gap there is and how to fill this research gap in an efficient way. A document convincing your committee that you know your field. Interpret the or synthesized your own thoughts. Means it is also very important to make our own figures related to the research, and to make it also makes you understand why your research matters, as I told you, because this literature review also assisting you to find out the gap in the society. Why is this your why is your study important? Because you are trying to fill out the gap that is available, and describe the significance of the literature research question or the problem, even though you are trying to answer, so what the question available. So this is the narrative of a good literature review, which is represented here on the screen. Some this funnel type of the picture that is represented or that is shown here. Let me explain this one by one. Where the first part of the or top part of this funnel is representing the leader or a reader knows, and the last part or the bottom part is representing where reader does not know. Here, the narrative of the good literature review is the introduction that should lead to the readers step by step, sentence by sentence, through the chain of the conducted sentences that lead to most important sentences in the entire thing. That is the thesis, or that is your research report. This should be at the end. If thesis is not at the end, then you will write the funnel shaped introduction. This is the funnel shaped introduction of the literature review, where first is introduce your field. Broad focused means basically this is let me explain this subject area means suppose I'm studying rural entrepreneurship in. So this is the first or top part of the funnel, where subject area means my topic is rural entrepreneurship in Haryana. So first part is representing entrepreneurship. Second part is rural entrepreneurship, and third part, that is bottom part, is representing rural entrepreneurship in Haryana. So this middle part is focus on certain aspects in the field of the interest. As I told you, that first part, this first part is representing entrepreneurship. This is representing rural entrepreneurship. Means focus on certain aspects. Means I am including rural entrepreneurship, whether at national or international. But this third part is representing and with the gap analysis, means rural entrepreneurship in Haryana. This is your topic. So literature review is based on previous section, that what is not known. Identify the specific problem and ends in your research question, that is hypothesis. Because this is literature review, which is giving the birth to the research gap, and research gap is giving birth to the problem statement. Problem statement is giving birth to the research objectives, through which we are deriving the research hypothesis. And during the research, we are just focused to justify the hypothesis that we have derived. So this purpose, where this is lowest part or bottom part of the funnel, which is representing the purpose that can be framed as a research question or hypothesis, that need to be very concise. One sentence solution of your problem. Means, as I told you, rural entrepreneurship in Haryana basically need to be in one sentence or very concise, you can say. So this is the support of the hypothesis. This one picture is representing the exact exact no means depth of the literature review. This picture is representing the depth of the literature review, where the first part is subject area, second is topic area, and third is topic. After that topic, you are generating hypothesis. This is the example which I have included here: malaria epidemiology, life cycle, current control, and resistance. So internet referencing, which is narrow down your research items, peer review articles, current literature review versus primary literature review. These are the tools which may be significant for your literature review. Means literature review is very important for your study. So we cannot ignore the literature review at any part. This is end note where you can enter, or where you can save your documents. Plagiarism, again, very important whenever you are submitting or when you are presenting your tentative research proposal to any committee. So you need to check out whether there is any piracy or not. Basically, this plagiarism report is representing the similarity available or similarity is there in the plan. So it is a reference that immediately after mentioning, not end of the paragraph. Always identify the source, means this is a research ethic that is saying that if you are referring any document, any research that is already conducted by any expert, then you need to give the source as well as you need to give the recognition to that researcher. Summarize useful points. So purpose is final point is your purpose, where purpose can be framed as a research question or hypothesis. Be concise, need to be in one sentence, lead directly to aim and objective. Aim and objectives, where the purpose of the research is to be a very short but general statement of the intent, and objective is representing very specific statement that define the practical steps you will take the achievements of your aims. So research methodology is again very important because this is the major blueprint of the research. So this section is used to judge the validity of the research and conclusion also. This section of your research proposal has multiple parts: instrumentation and infrastructure, study groups, and ethics, access to the sample data analysis. All these are very important part of the research methodology, and you need to mention all these very significantly. And another is justify your research methods choice and show your understanding related to the principles, prove the feasibility of your study. Research methodology is a way to systematically solve the research problem. It may understood a scientific of a science of the studying the how research is done scientifically. Means it is representing that what exactly the sample is, what exactly the sample selection is. What is difference in between sample size selection and sample size determination? Because there are big segment of the researcher which are not aware about how to determine the sample size and how to select the sample. So it is necessary to for the researcher to know not only the research methods or techniques but also the methodology, because methodology is a total working methodology of the research which is giving you the direction that okay, this is the path through which you can achieve your objectives and you can justify your hypothesis. This researcher not only need to know how to develop certain indices or tests and how to calculate the mean, mode, median, or standard deviation or chi-squares. As I told you, analytical tools are also included in the research methodology. It is essential to discuss the procedure clearly and completely with the considerable amount of the details. Study design, study population, sampling specification, sample size needed, instruments, specific procedure. We will discuss all these parameters one by one in upcoming sessions, where the one session is only targeted for the research methodology. So it is the study design, where the study design is specific plan or protocol for conducting the study, which allows you to translate the conceptual hypothesis into operational work. Conceptual means you are having the concepts of the hypothesis or means theoretical hypothesis, but you are transferring the conceptual hypothesis in the operational one, and that is only happening with the help of the research design. The study design should be clearly stated. The study design need to be used appropriate for achieving the research objectives. And study population sample specification. Study population is very important to understand because this is the population which is the major part of the study. Out of this study population, you are selecting the sample if it is required. If the sample population is large, then only you will select the sample. Otherwise, you can study the same population if the population is short in its size or small in its size. It is important to describe which would be the study population, how the study subject would be selected, randomization process, and other details should be given in detail. Sample size is important to mention in the protocol what would be the minimum sample required and how it is arrived. The determination of sample size is bargain between the precision and the precise price. Means it is resource and expensive involved. This description of the process, which is a research proposal, should include the detail of the process to be adopted in the study, how the exposure outcome variable and other variables are going to be measured should be described in detail. A brief description of how the data will be processed and use of statistical package, if any, should be given. What statistical test of the significance should be used? Means all these questions need to be answered first. So time frame and work schedule, which is the research proposal that should include the sequences of the task to be performed, anticipated length of the time required for its completion, and personal requirements also. It can be presented in tabular or graphic form, means Gantt chart, and flow chart and other diagrams are often useful for the for highlight purpose of the sequence and interrelationship between different activities in the research. This is the example that I have included here. Means first of all, you need to give the introduction where background and starts on are represented, and major points need to be presented first of all, where who, member, gender role, values, all these need to be clearly stated. Point second is representing that how these gender role or family values are influencing the consumption or TV usage. Another one is commercial, where gender role and promoting the consumer pattern are associated with the happiness. And conclusion means basically this is the pattern, or these are the different scientific steps that you need to follow. So timeline is again very important, where it will help you to keep your experimental design in the correct order, because this is the timeline which is somewhere giving you the figure that this time has been used and this time is still in your hand. Avoid the dead times. When building your timelines, you need to consult with other students or your colleagues in your labs or in your the same field that have done the similar kind of the studies. Budget is again very important because this is the money which is influencing your study. This money is a very important parameter, as well as time is also very important parameter, which is somewhere enforcing you to conduct the study with the help of the sample. Because if there is no constraint in your mind or in your study, then definitely you will conduct the study with the help of the population study. Otherwise, there is no other factor which is resisting you to conduct the study with sample. So this is money constraint which is enforcing you to conduct the study with the help of the sample. Give your appreciation or the research cost. Prevent your form overspending. Again, this money is influencing your spendings in your study. Provide scientific specific explanation for need for the specific technology, need the other financial request, means if there is any conference or instrumentation or staff or bursaries, means you need to consider. Outcomes need to be understand. So what do you expect the results to be out of your study? Because the problem is giving you the solution, which is enforcing you to be digged up. Measurable, it need to be obviously measurable, because if this is ambiguous, then it will not motivate you to complete the study. Another one is qualitative. It needs to contribute outstand understanding of the subject, new technology and application also. Revise and audit. Again, this is very important part of the research proposal, because when you are not revising your research proposal, then definitely there may be some problems that you may face. So backup proposal every day. You need to review your proposal on routine basis. Always print on paper and edit it. Use a standard phone. Number your pages. Read and loud. So this is a very important step that you need to follow. So common pitfalls to avoid. The first one is forget to include the table of the content, not connecting the proposed research to the literature review, and not enough details about the methods, jargons, and sweeping the generalities, and relying solely on your supervisor. These are the common pitfalls that you need to avoid. Means the first one is forget to include tables of the content. Means this will create the problem to represent your study. If there is table of content, then not connecting proposed research to the literature view. Means I am having the problem of rural entrepreneurship in Haryana, and I am not studying the entrepreneurship in Haryana, or you can say I'm not studying rural entrepreneurship in Haryana. So it is not connecting two dots. I'm studying the entrepreneurship, but I'm not studying rural entrepreneurship somewhere. That is again problematic for me. So you need to connect the dots through literature review. Not enough details about the methods. Definitely, methods is representing the direction to your research completion. Improving your odds. Know what evaluation criteria will be and checked to meet your thesis. Start an outline, read the approved proposal, and once finished, ask other to the proofread. This is again very important step that need to be followed. If I am doing any research, I am preparing the research reports, then I need to consult anyone who is involved in the research during the research conduction. So proofreading is again very important, because there may be some mistakes which are hidden to from my eyes, because I when I was preparing the report, then definitely I am doing my best. So how could I understand that my research report is having any problems, any defaults? So proofreading is again very important. Use diagrams to illustrate the model. Again, the diagram or the figure is speaking more than words. So try to represent your research with the help of the diagrams, with the help of the figures, to illustrate the model, or to illustrate the figures, or to illustrate the facts. Exactly. Evaluation of research proposal, where it aims or objectives that are likely to be achievable in the given time period. The rationale of the proposed study is reasonable. The scientific design is described and adequately justified also. So the step first is choose your topic, and after that, if possible, choose the subject and aspect of the subject that interest you. Narrow down the topic. Again, that is very important. Affect the digital technology on education. Outline courses. Second is gather information. That is one part of or the that is representing the literature review. So have a focus on the research paper, the question that you want to answer. Note If there is any thesis available, then go through that thesis. Put together the bibliography and professional means professor will oftenly require this also. Take notes on your sources. This is happening with the majority of the researcher when you are starting your research at the first time. So you are putting your references in the introduction, in the literature review, in the research methodology to justify your analysis. But when you start to prepare the references, in that case, at that step, you came to know that I am not aware where this reference is available, from which research paper I take up that line or I take up that reference. So you need to manage the reference from the starting. Organize your notes according to the topic, as I told you: introduction, literature review, research methodology, according to topic, according to chapter. So use 3 to 5 files cards and create the computer to fill the keep notes and give each note card or page title. Make sure that you have all reference information. That is very important. Decide on the thesis. Thesis is a statement that states an argument and make an assertion. Where it is a statement that someone could disagree with, means it doesn't mean that what the research proposal or what the problem statement you are having in your mind, upcoming generation will admit or will take it as you took. It is not mandatory. They may discard it. This thesis is tentative. You will probably need to revise it between first and final draft. Means there is always possibility that you may revise your problem statement or your objective. There is possibility. Not hard and fast rule that you will definitely revise these, but there may be some possibility. If you need to revise, then you can. You do not have the thesis if you say this is paper about, means this paper will discuss the question, means all these need to be mentioned clearly. So you need to make outline about the thesis statement, develop the thesis and supporting the research, contrary research, as well as conclusion and summary, that is representing the combination of thesis. Writing the first draft, you need to stay focused on the thesis, eliminate the material that do not relate to it, and pay attention to the flow of the ideas. Even though you need to give the reference properly with all quotes, paraphrases, as well as use the ideas for your sources. Run a spell and grammar check before finalizing. Print out the paper and review on screen. After that, proofreading is again very important, and reprint the paper. After that, throw the draft. You should not same as first draft, because as I told you, there is always possibility for the changes. So you need to open your mind. You need to keep open your mind for the changes. Revise and write. This is take seriously all comments made by the professor or the peers related to your draft. After that, if only official, then multi draft of projects. Write at least 2 to 3 drafts anyways, and be sure to spell check, proofreading, as well as check the references carefully. After that, you not need to turn the research paper with the handwritten corrections. And final draft should be refined piece of the work, clean, clear, and coherent. So, how to represent the paper or proposal to the committee or to the approving board? So, purpose of the proposal presentation, we are persuading the evaluator and support your research project. You need to make your proposal compelling, because these are the boards or authorities which need to be convinced. So, prepare the research presentation in an efficient way, where it is structuring your story, it is preparing and giving the presentation, as well as concluding your presentations. Structure is always very important, and you need to give each and every facts and tentative plan in your research proposal, as this is representing in the figure where first, second, third, fourth, all the steps are given carefully. So This is all about today's session, where we have discussed about the meaning of the research and different types, as well as we have discussed the significance and various steps of the research proposal. If you are having any query, then you can ask your query. This is open question and answer session. You can ask your query through dropping your query in the chat box, or you can ask your query through unmuting yourself. This is a open question and answer session.
Excuse me, ma'am.
I repeat, this is open question and answer session. You can ask your queries through dropping your query in the chat box, as well as you can ask your query through unmuting yourself.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes?
I'm Rajeshwari.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, I want to know that this research proposal you told, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this relating to when we are attending the PhD interview, or afterwards, after the coursework, again we have to present our research proposal, no?
If you need any approval,
Okay.
then you need to.
Ma'am, this format we have to follow while going for PhD interview or afterwards?
Suppose, see, wherever the approval is required, you need to present your research with the help of the proposal. Suppose I am conducting any research where I need funds from ICSSR.
Okay.
Or UGC.
Okay.
Or your university, or any authority which is providing you funds.
Okay,
In that case, you need to present your research with the help of the research proposal.
At the time of attending PhD interview?
Definitely.
What is pages we require? That means we have to present it in very detailed manner, or for attending the interview, we have to present in a very detailed manner, because I am the starter.
No, in PhD also, in approval also, in any case wherever the approval is required, detailed research tentative plan need to be presented.
So how much pages actually, ma'am, for pages?
Depends on
that you told. It depends.
Number of pages is totally dependent on your research topic or problem statement. That may be up to 17 to 30 pages.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
This may be up to 17 to 30 pages, because 30 is a good number of pages and 17 is okay.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, definitely.
The difference between the research proposal, like getting a funding, that proposal will write, and the research paper or a thesis, it will, what exactly difference? Like suppose will in a thesis or a paper will write introduction, objective, scope of the study, problem statement. In the same way, we'll write the proposal also for getting funding.
No, definitely the pattern is same, because in research proposal, whenever you are presenting your research proposal for the PhD or for any approval,
for funding,
you need to give the introduction, you need to give the research gap. The first one is, it is starting with the problem statement, then it is forwarding towards the introduction, then literature review, then research gap, then objectives, then hypothesis, then research methodology, then statistical tools, then chapterization.
It's just a small thesis, I can say, right? Result proposal is a small thesis, like a synopsis.
Tentative synopsis.
Okay. Approx, this is around 30 page? 20, 30 page?
17 or 15 or 17 to 30, maximum 30. Otherwise, it will be around 20 to 25, around 20.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Because you are including many of references also, na?
Okay. Uh-huh.
So it is influencing the number of pages.
Okay.
Whenever you are representing, suppose the introduction, when you are following the writing down the introduction, in that introduction you need to give around 15 to 20 references. In a literature review you need to give 30 to 35 references. In research methodology again you need to give 15 to 20 research references. So means it is giving you the total number of 60 to 70 references in your research proposal.
Oh, in all the chapters we need to give the references.
Definitely, in all the chapters you need to give the references. Research gap is also very important part of any research, because in the research gap you need to give around 7 to 10 research
Suppose research proposal is a new concept. Hardly we are getting any old research. Then how we can get the more references?
Okay, definitely this may happen. In that case, if the literature review is not available, then you need to give the justification of your results.
Okay.
If you are saying that okay, this is the one variable which is having the association this second or third, then how I will be agree with your results?
Okay.
I may discard to be agree that I'm not agree with your results. Your results may be biased with any with any reason. Then in that case you need to give the solid reason that okay, this is this is the analysis that we have done in many times, and the same results are coming out. That is the main reason that why we are saying in this with this fact.
Got it.
Okay, madam. Thank you.
Good evening,
Uh,
ma'am.
yeah,
My
dear
question.
participants. Yeah. Just a moment. Dear participants, kindly introduce yourself and then clarify your doubts, please.
Okay, ma'am. I am Reshma Prakash Lad. I am doing PhD in Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University. My subject is library information science. Ma'am, how to writing literature review and which topic cover in literature review?
See, tomorrow's session is just only focused on literature review, where I am going to discuss that how to write the literature review in an efficient way. Possibly, we'll answer this question in tomorrow's session. But the major thing is there are 7 parameters that you need to consider, or that you need to know, take in your mind whenever you are writing the research literature review. The first is author. Second is time period of the research. Another one is problem statement, or you can say the title. Another is after that research gap or research methodology, findings and suggestions. These are the 7 parameters that you need to consider whenever you are writing the literature review. And definitely we will study or we will elaborate all these concepts in detail in upcoming tomorrow's session.
Okay, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a small query. Like, for
Yes.
how many sessions related to this methodology, research methodology is there? Because actually the training is regarding the research paper training. I just want to know for how many sessions is this research methodology sessions are there?
See,
Because I think most probably everyone are aware of these things. So yeah, I just want to know how many sessions are there for this one.
yeah, see, I am delivering every session with the new concept. That the first one was how to select the research proposal. Second one is literature review, how to conduct the literature review in an efficient way, so that you would be able to identify the research gap, because literature review is directly associated with the research gap. There is a big segment or a target audience which is not capable to identify the gap. I came to know that majority of the researcher are not able to identify the research gap. So literature review and research
No, no,
gap
no, ma'am. Yeah, like,
I
so
am
sorry to
completing
intervene.
I am
I think you
completing
didn't
your
get me.
question. I'm answering your question. So second question, second is
Okay, okay.
focused on literature review. Then another is on research methodology, and another one is statistical tools, and after that research proposal means do's and don'ts, and interpretation, report writing. All these concepts are going to be elaborated.
Yeah, for how many sessions these are there? For like till the report writing, maybe that whatever the writing, thesis writing or anything. How many sessions are there?
7 days.
Yeah. Karthik sir.
So how? Yeah,
Uh,
like for how many days of paper writing?
Karthik sir, excuse me. Karthik sir. Yeah, we will share the list of content
Yeah.
in delegates group. Okay.
Circulate the browser, like for
Yeah.
what day which is going to happen and all.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
would be
Okay.
better.
Okay. May I know
Because
your
I feel most probably like everyone have conducted the research here, maybe master student, everything. They want to know about more about writing a paper, how to write and what is the procedure. So that is
right,
what I feel.
right. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
sir. Yeah. Anybody else? Dear participants, the session is open for discussion. You can clarify your doubts through chat box or unmuting your mics.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Madam, there is one question in chat box.
My name is Nagaraju. I'm
evening,
as
sir.
a research scholar. Good evening, madam.
Good evening, sir.
How to write the paper, select the title, and one more thing is review paper and research paper. How to take the title, select the title, is it suitable or not? How to open the previous paper and take the literature review, and how to take the citations. These are the doubts, madam.
If I'm not wrong, you are asking the question that you are having doubts related to references, reference management, and the citation.
Take the previous paper and how to collect the information from the previous paper.
Okay. So you need to study that research paper that is connected with your study, that abstract, that research methodology. First of all, whenever you are consulting any research paper, then study the abstract, because this is main summary of the research paper. After that, study the research methodology, that what sort of the no research pattern that researcher have followed, means sample selection, sample determination, after that sample area, and after that analytical tools, whatever the analytical tools have been adopted by that researcher in that research paper. After that, what were the findings? So these are the very important things, means abstract, research methodology, and analytical part.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
Myself, Dr. Shamina from RV's College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. I belong to the biochemistry department. So I like to know about the interdisciplinary part of writing a research paper, or as you said, it's a review paper. How far it has been entertained, because we are actually from the science background. How could we intercollaborate with a socio-economic project or for a review paper?
you may associate yourself with the person who is somewhere associated or somewhere related, conducting the research in the social sciences. Then you can connect your study with the different social science studies.
Okay, ma'am. And
Because on your own part, that may be somewhere a critical task for you, that how to correlate your study with the social sciences. So somewhere another person may assist you that okay, this is your main area, this is my main area. So you will do this kind of the study, I'll do this kind of the study, and will correlate with each other.
okay, ma'am.
Hmm.
Okay, madam. Thank you. Anybody else?
Ma'am,
Yes.
how to identify a research gap, ma'am?
Yes, research gap. I also, this is the question that is also dropped in the chat box also, how to identify the research gap, because this is the no literature review which is giving you the direction, or which is giving you the gap, that okay, suppose I am studying the rural entrepreneurship in Haryana. Oh, then I am doing the literature review. I have gone through 150 studies. Majority of studies are related to the entrepreneurship. After that, a few studies are related to the rural entrepreneurship. Rural entrepreneurship have been studies at national and international level. Then we'll sort out that how many studies have been conducted at the national level. After that, how many studies of the rural entrepreneurship in the northern India. After that, how many rural entrepreneurship studies there are in the Haryana. This will the structure that okay, at national level, at international level, at national level, at regional level, at state level, how many studies there are. Through this you would came to know that okay, this is the research gap basically. If there are suppose 20 studies that have been conducted by the experts in the rural entrepreneurship in Haryana, then I need to study that okay, what there were topic. Okay, entrepreneurship, government schemes, startup, self-help group, maybe some promotional measures taken by the government, maybe the Manrega. So how these things are associated with the rural entrepreneurship. So this will give you the gap. All studies would not be in the similar area or similar topic. So you need to study, you need to understand, okay, this is the study which is somewhere associated, but not directly associated, indirectly associated. So this will give you the gap.
Good evening, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Good
madam.
evening,
Anybody
ma'am.
else?
Yes,
Kindly
good
introduce
evening,
yourself
ma'am.
and clarify your doubt, please.
Ma'am, myself Odeshwini from BGTU Lucknow. And I need to know about the citations. What are the citations and how can we collect it?
What?
Ma'am, what is the meaning of citations?
Okay. Citation means, suppose I have conducted my study on suppose a brand reference or brand preference.
Yes, ma'am.
So you are also studying on the similar. I have studied this in Haryana, and you are studying somewhere in suppose Punjab or in Rajasthan. So
Yes.
you are citing that okay, Dr. Kavita have studied the similar kind of the topic in Haryana, and now I am studying in Rajasthan. So I am giving the reference of Dr. Kavita in my research paper, that okay, she had this kind of the findings at that time. This is the study that is associated to my study.
That means it is on the similar work what is done according to our topic.
Yes, quite
Okay,
similar,
ma'am.
not directly similar,
Yes, ma'am.
somewhere
So,
associated.
okay. So these are also can be used in references.
Yes.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay, madam. Thank you, madam. Please see whether there is questions in chat box.
How to give in-text citation. This in-text citation means in-text citation is representing like what to say. Suppose I am preparing the introduction, and during the introduction, or to prepare the introduction, basically, I am writing one line that is somewhere written in another paper. That's why I am giving the citation of that research paper in my introductions paper. That is in-text citation.
Ma'am, please explain it again.
Ma'am, repeat again.
Yes, suppose I am writing the introduction of my research paper. In my research paper, during the introduction writing, I am putting one line that is already conducted by, suppose, any Dr. Shamina. That Dr. Shamina has conducted that similar kind of the study, and I am keeping this line from that research paper in my introduction, that and I am giving the citation that okay, Dr. Shamina has conducted this research. So this is in-text citation.
Good evening,
Yeah,
ma'am.
Dr. Madam,
that is useful in research paper or a review paper, madam. That's you explained. In-text
Yes, sir.
citation.
This in-text citation is very similarly important in the introduction as well as in the literature review, or you can say review paper writing also. Because in the review paper we are referring different studies to write one research paper or one review research paper. You need to have about 15 to means above 15 research papers. Limit may be beyond any number of paper, but minimum 15 paper you need to cite.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good.
Ma'am, myself, Meena Loshni from Kamban College of Arts and Science, a research scholar in the Department of Management. Ma'am, I just want to know, while giving the literature review, should we need to take research papers or PhD thesis, ma'am? Which one will be the best option, ma'am?
Repeat your question, please.
Ma'am, for literature review, should we go for research papers or research articles, or else PhD thesis will be done on some topics, no? So shall we go for that preferences also?
See, if you are writing your thesis, in that case you need to follow the thesis, because this is the best research work that is somewhere conducted by others. So if you are writing the research paper, then you can follow, or you can refer research paper and thesis. But if you are writing the thesis, in that case, first preference to the thesis, after that research papers.
Okay, ma'am. Then where can we get those research papers, ma'am, in full? Because while we go to Google Scholar and all, we don't get the full papers. So will it be available in any websites or something? Is there any special websites for that which provides research papers in full?
There are so many websites, Google Scholar, ResearchGate, so many. We'll discuss.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yes,
Shodh
ma'am.
Ganga. Shodh Ganga is basically representing, means it is representing the
Thesis.
content of thesis.
Yes, ma'am.
Gangotri is for synopsis.
ProQuest.
We'll discuss in tomorrow's session. There are so many platforms where the research papers are available.
Okay. And in the tomorrow's session, will you cover that how to study a research paper, ma'am?
Literature review, basically.
Yes, ma'am.
Literature review and research gap. How to drive the research paper, research
Okay.
gap.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Anybody else?
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Good evening.
Very
Yeah,
good evening.
just see, today actually we were busy in supervision. So, will you sum up tomorrow today's session in 10 minutes? Humble request to you.
Okay.
Yeah, request this is okay. Yeah, tomorrow if it is possible.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
Got it.
madam, in tomorrow's session you can. Yeah,
Yeah,
in
definitely.
tomorrow's session you can. Yeah. Anybody else? Any doubts? We have another few minutes of time. Madam, see whether there are some
Excuse
questions
me,
in
ma'am.
chat box.
Yeah, there
Excuse
is
me.
one question how can we identify the fake Scopus journals? You need to verify actually at your own part. You can consult with some experts that whether this journal is Scopus indexed or not, or whether there is any clone of the UGC, because there are a few clones are available also. So be careful to select any journal. So there is no hard and fast parameters or any no directions that through this you can identify. So how to collect the research papers based on relevant to your topic?
Excuse me.
Yes.
Ma'am, I am Rajeshwari. Again, I have one doubt.
Yes.
Ma'am, some research article will be there on a particular topic, ma'am.
Yes.
Research article will be there in Google Scholar and all. Can we convert it as our research topic for PhD purpose? Because they will be doing it in a small sample way.
See, for thesis, basically you are asking.
Yeah, research article will be there. They will be using some methodology and all, but they will be doing with some small samples on a particular area. Can we use it for our PhD purpose? The same topic with same research methodology with a large sample, can we be able to do that, or it will be a problem?
Definitely you can, but if your supervisor will allow.
Okay.
Because
ma'am.
he's the person who will direct your research steps, no? So better to go with the supervisor, but definitely you can elaborate that topic also. There is no means written rule that you cannot elaborate any topic. You can elaborate, but with the agreement of your supervisor.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, in chat box, few questions are there.
Discussion, draft the discussion in the literature review paper. How to draft this discussion in literature review is totally based on the findings. Whatever the finding you are having in your research paper or your literature review paper, accordingly you can fetch out the major results, that okay, this is the result that is fetched out, or that is derived from a majority of the research papers. So again, discussion or draft discussion is totally dependent on the results of the literature review. Any Google sheet for attendance? I don't know. Madam, can you tell me the optimum number of research papers to be referred for writing the research paper? No, there is no hard and fast rule to refer the research papers. According to your topic, one statement you may refer the research papers. If you are selecting the research topic that is very new, then definitely there may be a scarcity of the research papers. Otherwise, according to means your research, you can refer the research papers. There is no means there is no rule.
ma'am, while citing the thesis, can we paraphrase the review of literature from the thesis and write in our thesis, ma'am?
See, the best practice is, first of all, study the research paper. As I told you in during the session also, study the abstract, study the literature review. Study the abstract, study the research methodology, study analytical tools that have been adopted, and findings. Study these 4 things very carefully, and after that, draw, or after that, write the literature review in your own language. Do not go with the paraphrase.
Okay, madam, thank you. Shall we stop here, madam? Now it's almost 8:30 p.m.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So on behalf of all participants and on behalf of Higher Learning Education Institute and on behalf of Rizvi College, we are very much thankful to our resource person, Dr. Kavita Dahiya, madam, for her very elaborative and informative session. Thank you very much, madam.
Thank you so much to all the participants who asked the questions, because this is representing that how much curious you are for this faculty development program. And definitely we'll try to answer all your questions in upcoming sessions also. We'll try to answer your all confusions related to the research methodology or related to the research paper writing, even though for beyond the line. I'm not I'm not resisting you to be on the line. If you are having any doubt related to any question, any topic, any area, you can ask your questions, but we'll try to be in a timeline. So thank you so much to all the participants.
Yeah.
To
Thank you, madam. So at the same time, on behalf of Speaker Madam and on behalf of Higher Learning Education Institute and on behalf of Rizvi College, we are very much thankful to all participants for their active involvement and participation. With this, we will stop here, and once again, we will meet virtually tomorrow at 7 p.m. In day 2 session. So till then, take care. Bye bye. Good night.